What is up, everybody? Today we got so much to say about Jussie Smollett and a lot more on Black Hollywood Live's The Trend.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Hey, with that new music. What? Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Derrial, Christon, on Black Hollywood Live's The Trend. I know Jussie's really into it right now.
I mean, you got to, otherwise we start the show like, hey guys,
right,
this ain't CNN.
You're right about that. You're right about that. The Trend. We got Courtney Stewart with her queen sweater. Is that queen?
Yes.
You are a queen.
I'm a queen.
You are a queen.
Sorry, I wrapped myself in my queendom. Hey.
We got Jussie Janedy.
What's up?
What was my tagline?
No, I was trying to get one. I was trying to go quick, but never mind. All right. And also, we got another queen in the house.
Black zipper.
Tanisha Laverne Grant is in the house. Yo, we had her on a couple weeks back. You know, she out here reporting for the Oscars and all kind of stuff.
Yes.
And we got her back in the house today. You got that's an outfit right there.
Yes.
You come slaying with the fashion.
Harlem, I got to bring that NY City. This is goat hair.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
It feels good.
It's quite nice.
For y'all listening,
perfect.
you got to check out the video to see what this jacket. It's not a jacket, is it?
It is a 3/4 length,
Okay.
kind of throw.
Okay.
You know, it's perfect when you're in the city. You can layer it,
Okay.
or you can just go solo. Like today, I'm doing solo. It's not as cold in LA as it is in New York, but it is cold nonetheless.
Right.
So while I couldn't bring all my furs,
Right.
my minks and my sables, I did decide to bring this little goat hair piece.
And it looks good though. Very,
Sock it to you,
very
West
warm
Coasters.
looking. Very warm looking. And now Courtney's over the winter, or what we call winter in LA.
It's not what we call it. This is like legit winter now.
It's the end of the
into
world.
the
Is it
30s.
though?
Yes, it's been in the 30s and 40s at night. That is actual winter.
Snowing in Calabasas.
Yeah. Yo, it's real winter.
Global
the
warming.
high was 55 or something. No, that's not a high. That is a low. Okay? That is a low.
That's
for
our
Southern
that's our
California.
typical winter.
Yes, we're supposed to get 55 at night, and it's still supposed to be 65 to 7 during the day. Y'all, I ain't seen a 70-degree in about 3 months.
Nope.
Wow.
I'm done.
I had no idea.
go
Yeah,
warming.
before
Yes.
October.
Yeah,
Before-
it was definitely before, because even on Halloween, I had on a fur coat.
Yeah, it was freezing. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
no.
See, I like it. I still like it.
No,
I mean, I
no.
just wish it would during the weekends it would be a little warmer.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So then
Yeah.
you don't like it.
Yeah,
What you
yeah.
want is your time in the warmth of the 70 to the 75.
But I like wearing a jacket and a sweater too, though.
briefly.
You
Well,
know
that's
what I
at
mean?
the East Coast.
And we're
That's that
done.
East Coast.
Yeah.
Look,
you know.
don't get me wrong. I've gotten to break out some coats that I
Yeah.
never get to break out in Los Angeles, and it was fun. But it's done.
We're done.
Yeah,
It's
You're
about
done.
it
to
Okay.
be.
gets,
It's
you'll
about to
get
be
over it real
March.
quick.
It was
Yes.
a moment.
It was a moment.
The
It was
moment's
cute.
over.
It's about to be March. I need it to be sunshine.
That's crazy.
And
It's about to be
brunch
March
time.
already.
Yeah. It's about to be March. It's about
Because
to be
crazy
March.
things happen in the cold, y'all.
They do. Like what, Jussie?
Like,
Why'd you say
as
it's
y'all
crazy?
know, we have talked about it on every show here on BHL, across the board, every show.
Whoa.
Everybody's talking about it. Instagram, Twitter is just a blaze about this. Mr. Jussie Smollett. So, last I reported anything on it was, because comes this thing with this whole fake news and like you don't know who to believe with anything, so you kind of have to, in this day and age, pause.
Right.
The memes are funny and whatnot. Today was the first day I actually posted a meme because I was like,
And that was a good meme. We
Yeah,
can't
no,
play it,
right.
but it's good.
well, that one, but then I posted
Oh.
this other one with him dressed as the McDonald's thing, and it says, "Your sauce is in the bag, sir."
Ooh, yeah,
Because
that's
it's
good.
never in there.
It's never,
But anyway, so the last we reported is that Jussie, he was attacked in Chicago. I'm sure you all know what happened. He claimed these two white men who had screamed MAGA country, put a noose around his neck, poured bleach on him. This is all allegedly what he said. And, he was hospitalized. Well, he had gone to the hospital, gotten checked out. There were rumors that his ribs were cracked. He had this scrape on his face. But then we saw that he actually performed here in Los Angeles and made a statement where he, denied certain things about the situation that were being said by other people and then proclaimed himself as the gay Tupac.
Whew.
Yes,
Which
he
I'm still trying to
did.
figure out where that.
I was
The
trying to
context
understand like
for
how
that.
that made
Yeah, me
like,
too.
where-
Yeah.
That was too much.
It was, no.
That was a bit much.
But like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But for me, and the whole story sounded as a victim of being attacked myself, this sounded fishy from the beginning. But, everyone handles things differently. So then it was the interview that he did
With Robin Roberts.
With Robin Roberts. And Courtney was actually the first person I hit up, and I was just like, yo, I mean, when you talk about, I want to feel emotion, because I was excited for him to do this sit down, because I can relate to something like this, and I wanted I wanted to hear his voice on what happened, and it just, to me, it seemed very defensive. And I can understand maybe being in a defensive place, being with all these cameras and looking at memes and stuff like that. But I didn't see the sorrow from the situation, because it is sad. It's sad that this could happen to anybody. And, there's a little bit of fear, like with a noose around your neck, bleach. Like, these are things that are deep-rooted evil. Like, it's not just like, he came at me, I'm going to bust him in his face. Like, this is deep-rooted. And he needs to, if these men did do this, you need to use this right now. And I felt like it was being more used towards him. Well, that being said, Jussie, now all these things have come out with the Chicago police. He had sent over his phone records, but certain things were canceled and crossed out. And, he said he was protecting certain celebrities, which also, I'm kind of like, well, if you're giving it to the cops, it's not like the cops are going to take those records and be like, this is Paris Hilton.
Wait a second, we're talking about the Chicago PD here, and that's why a lot of people were very swift to stand with Jussie and advocate for him, because I, for one, do not get on social media and advocate. I have to wait until the story develops and unfolds and unfolds and unfolds, but I took a visceral reaction and was like, I stand with Jussie Smollett. And it's just it's so jarring, to say the least, because what this has done, what he's done, is incited more racial tension.
Yeah.
He has incited national outrage.
Allegedly.
So these two brothers came out, Ola and Abel Osundaro, something along the lines. They're Nigerian brothers.
Who have been extras on the show.
There's
pictured with Lee Daniels.
So this video gets
surrogate
released.
Jussie's surrogate father, who, you remember the Instagram post that Lee Daniels made, and he was just like, you're my son.
Yeah.
I will be there shortly.
Yes, Daddy. So there's this video. These two men had came out and they basically have said that they were hired by Jussie to stage this. There's a video of these two men on a surveillance camera. Literally, I just want to know what the store clerk was thinking when they came up there with black gloves, rope, the ski mask. Like, hi, this looks like a freaking robbery.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys all seen the video?
Yeah.
That counter looked insane. I'm like, it is February, not October 31st. And whatever, Jussie turned himself in. And then actually this just came out today saying that during Jussie's time, he's now was bailed out, but he told the police that, and people have, like Courtney said, people have been waiting for this to come out, that he said he had a drug problem. He has a drug problem. Cops say Jussie bought ecstasy from one of the brothers. And if he was convicted, the drug issue could be a factor to get his sentence reduced.
I mean, it's funny. Yesterday, I actually was having a conversation with a friend. I said, the only defense he could say is that he was high and he was tripping, and when he was high, he did all this whole plan, and he gonna come out and say
it's premeditated. He did it so many days.
Yeah.
I mean, you wrote a check for $3,500.
And the letter. He allegedly wrote the letter
that he supposedly
But I'm like, why would you have a paper? Anything? Why would you even have a paper trail? Pay cash. Pay them $35.
Or buy the mask at one store. But I don't want to sound like a criminal, but I'm just like, come on, y'all.
This is like 101 stupidity for criminals. You know what I'm saying?
They keep going around this thing that he was so upset about his pay on Empire, which doesn't make sense to me, because if Lee Daniels is your, you know what I mean? Your father
and that he was going to be written off, and Fox has already made statements that that's not true.
What would this MAGA country,
it would make him more high profile, and people care more about his character, supposedly.
Exactly.
But regardless, the idea of the motive is probably coming from whatever he told supposedly these Nigerian brothers.
Right.
That may not be his motive at all, if he actually did it, because it's still alleged. He's only been accused. Regardless, at this point, Lord Jesus, why? It's Black History Month. Jussie, whatever he did, it did not happen the way he said it happened. Because we have enough proof that says something else happened.
It ain't right.
I don't know what that other else is, what other version of the story, but something else happened that was not what he reported. And I just don't understand why at this time he would ever. And I was trying to figure out if I knew anybody that like kind of knew him a little bit.
Right.
Because I'm trying to understand this man's mind. Like, I really want to understand this man's mind. And at one point, the funny part is that when it first came out, I told another friend that I was like, oh, this is going to be some kind of like performance art that he's trying to bring awareness to gay bashing.
That's what's been
crime.
on the street rumors that people were hoping to give some type of
he should have came out 4 days ago
answer to what was going on.
But when he didn't come out immediately and make that be
he can't say that
known,
now.
I was just like, oh, but then when all of this developed, I'm like, bruh, you really choreographed a whole situation and it wasn't even for like legit art purposes to bring any kind of positive to something else, even though I don't even know.
No, when you have, celebrities and strangers coming to bat for you and advocate for you, that is a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, what he allegedly did, if he is, I honestly think they're going to go for jail time.
Oh, I think they're going to make an example. And 3 years. $100,000
Do you think he should go to jail?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he should.
And the reason being is the race thing, honestly, because
hate crime.
Yeah.
A hate crime. If you're accusing someone of a hate crime, if someone attacked me, I want them to do the maximum.
Yeah.
The maximum. Okay? I mean, this history, nooses, we got fashion houses, blackface. Do the time.
Yeah. I mean,
this isn't a joke.
Time.
This is no joke. And then also, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I've interviewed Jussie. I've interviewed other members of his family journey. I remember them as little kids in Beverly Hills. So I'm blown back. I take this so personally. I just want to be like, Jussie, what on earth did you do? Like, why did you do this? Why did you do this?
Yeah, I mean, I can't wrap my head around it. I mean, and my thing is...
And it's just like, at the end of the day, like, I know people who have been on drugs. Ain't a drug this crazy or this intense that will make someone orchestrate a crime, a fake crime
to this extent.
Of this magnitude.
Yeah. There's one drug.
What?
It's called fame.
Right.
Oh. Yeah. You know what? Charles Blow said something of that effect a few weeks ago about... just the day and age that we're in and how fame is a drug. This attention-seeking atmosphere that we're in right now is pretty much the impetus of what drives people to do
crazy things.
Crazy.
Well, that's my thing is too is the arrogance of it, because what it boils down to when you're asking about should he do jail time, the reason I also believe that is because I know that he's gone on record. I saw something today that he said that this didn't affect anything with like the police taking away from them.
Which, by the way, doesn't make any sense because they were like, this did not take anything away from any other cases.
Any other cases.
But in the same breath, they also say these resources could have been used to go after. Right. So I'm like, so you are saying like, were you Chicago y'all confused?
But just the thought that he actually even had created this so police would be taken away if something did happen. I mean, they could be. I mean, we all feel the way we feel about Chicago police, and
but now
police period.
But now
period.
It waters that down to a certain extent because it's like, okay, well now you sat here, you milked this, you sat here, you milked the world that we live in. Yes, you put a magnifying glass because these things do happen. But to go to this effect, you don't need to stage it. It happens. You can find the cases. So be that person and stand for those cases. Don't, whatever this was. It's crazy. Like the fact that there is a man with a hit list out here trying to kill people within our government that's not even being reported because we're all laughing at you.
Yes,
right.
That's true.
Or we're trying to figure out what the fuck you're doing.
And he had a whole arsenal at his house, y'all. That was some serious.
Those pictures are crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Now, do you think this is the end of Jussie's career?
It better be.
I mean... I don't know what he could do. Honestly, like I don't know what excuse you could come up, or it would have to be years later.
His next level of career needs to be like serving.
Yes. Outside of this country,
the
probably.
world,
the community, the world
capacity.
Yeah,
but I'm sure he'll be back on something at some point.
Well, rumor has it, and this is just rumor, alleged, that when he posted bail, he actually went to the set of Empire.
Yeah, he was scheduled to work.
Yeah.
Wow.
And rumor has it that he told everybody there that he is not guilty of what he is accused of.
He's still sticking by the not guilty. Yep.
What in the hell?
And the thing is, it's hard. It's really hard, honestly, to go through the stories because there's so many, and it's like there's certain blogs and things. It's just like I can't even go to that because I don't even know what they're even trying to say, And we really just have to wait for the court date. And there's this 4-page thing. I'll tweet it out, and this is what the jurors will be looking for to be proved against him. If all those 4 pages can be proved, then you safe, bro. But that's a lot of proof. And you out here whiting out names and stuff like that? I don't know.
Tawana Brawley is still paying or trying to pay.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So this is very similar to that case. Will he work again? Probably. Maybe never at this level. But, we were talking out in the hallway there, and I'm sure, somebody mentioned, he can be on a reality show. Yeah. This is,
Well, I said that's going to probably be his next bet, is to do a reality show, let this die down a little bit, and then he'll try and revamp his career.
I'll fix my life.
We live in a country where it's like, whatever. He'll gain a different type of fan base. I mean, R. Kelly ain't in jail.
Oh.
Yeah, he still got videos coming out, but that's a different subject. Different day, different subject.
Wow.
I don't know how Jussie's going to be able to get out of this. I mean, there's a lot of people who are coming to his defense. I know Tyler Perry says he still stands by him.
Tyler Perry's was very like, it's loose. It's not teetering.
Yeah, it's like not teetering. The showrunner of Empire said that they're still standing by Jussie. Now, Lee hasn't really made any new statements.
Has anybody thought that Lee was involved?
Oh, well, that was a rumor.
If this was set up by Jussie, I 100% believe that Lee was attached to this. I do. I feel that way. I will say it. I don't care, but I believe that. I don't believe Jussie creatively put this entire thing together by himself. Not to say he
does Lee have to gain by
the same thing
ratings.
Jussie can
get ratings for the show.
This whole stunt sounds like. It could
it's so
if it was
toxic.
True.
It's just gross.
I don't know.
Think about fame and
Literally
power.
gross.
People with fame and power sometimes feel that
invincible. Yeah.
And if they can go above and beyond, why not? The Kardashians do it all the time.
And that's why, for me, if he is guilty, I feel like he should do the time. I constantly think about the blood of our ancestors. I think about, those, slaves who are dumped overboard. I think about the lynchings. I think about the rapes and the beatings. I think about the LGBTQ. I mean, this is like, come on, you guys. Like, this is what you want to stage? This is what you want to stage. Race.
Yeah.
Race in this country. This is what you want to stage.
And his PR team, why do they think it was a good idea to put him on Good Morning America, by the way?
Because they probably still believed him. I don't think they knew. I think they are on his team, and he's like, this happened to me, and they're like, all right, well, there's a lot of pushback. You go tell your story and let people empathize with you.
The concert was
a
more
big move for Fox
me.
because I've seen things
concert
happen.
Was more confusing for me.
Oh, the concert.
2 days after you were.
Well, some people would say like when horrible things happen, like you're still in shock and you want to just push through and not like have your life stopped, and then it comes back later. There's people that push things down and push through life, and then it comes back in a way they didn't expect, and whatever kind of trauma, like you just never know.
How did you really think that you wouldn't get caught?
But But that's like you ask that of anybody that's been convicted or arrested for a crime. Most people that commit crimes don't think they're gonna get caught. Like you don't commit a crime assuming you're gonna get caught.
I mean, I get that, but the way this was just planned out was just stupid. I mean, come on. I mean, you got receipts, you got a trail, you texting the dude talking about I need you to. What do you say? Something about like I need you to do a favor for me or something. You text the guy or I need you to help me out on the low. oh, are you around to meet up to talk? I mean, this is all like, why are you texting that? You know what I mean? Why are you paying once again with a check? Like, don't leave a paper trail. Where they said that the guys took an Uber. But
the 3,500, like that's all 3,500.
That's what I thought. I thought they were gonna say 35,000. You know what I mean?
Baby,
the fee was pretty. But you know what? That 3,500 might have been a lot of money to those two guys. Sure. Like, if they're doing background work on Empire, they might be aspiring actors that don't have a lot of cash.
I don't know. Nigerians know what money is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Nigerians know what money is. You know. They know what wealth is, and they $3,500. I don't know a Nigerian today outside of those two. If I had hair, it would have been blown off because I was like, what on earth?
But maybe they
I ain't risking going to jail for $3,500.
Notoriety, some sort of fame on their part will come out of it because now people know who they are. They've seen their pictures. They know their names.
But it's infamous.
I mean, but people don't necessarily separate that, especially not anymore. Some people don't care.
And what is that going to get them? So people know who they are as
people will want to interview them. People will want them to write some kind of book about it because you don't know how much information is actually going to come out directly from Jussie because now he's on trial essentially. So he can't, if he's smart, he's not going to say very much. I'm sure his lawyers are like, shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. And we never know. It may end up being that he cuts a deal in some way, pleads out. He then has to, compensate the Chicago police and maybe he's never allowed to talk about it again. Who knows? Like, you just don't know. So they have an opportunity to go on talk show circuits, be interviewed by people. Somebody might want them to write a book. Somebody might be like, ooh, they fit. Look at their bodies. Let's put them in a layout and talk about, like, what would make them do that.
Yeah, remember Prison Bay?
Fair enough.
That's true.
Fair enough.
Right, good point, Jussie. That's true.
You just don't know. True. I mean, it's dismal and dark and awful. Like, don't get me wrong. I am not, like, whatever, but I'm not confused. That's why, even though I'm like, Jussie, why? Because in my brain, I'm saying, you're living the dream. You have this amazing job. Whether you're getting paid what you think you deserve, blah, 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 blah. You're on a national show that people love and still watch. Sorry, that made me laugh. Y'all still watch Empire?
Shady.
No.
I haven't watched
Empire. It was
Empire.
real good, them first two seasons.
After first season one.
Great.
Nonetheless.
Y'all are crazy.
You throw your drink on
monkey suit.
hands.
When she came on that monkey suit, I was done.
Yeah, we all kind of were.
Like,
Whatever. Well, that's a dead horse. We're done beating. I guess we can.
Like, honestly, I'm just so, like, it's just crazy. It's like one of those things where it's like, I hate to say, I can't wait for the trial, but I just need I need facts to actually flow out. I'm done reading TMZ. If the Shade Room posts one more thing, I'm like, okay.
Oh, the Shade Room, yeah.
Y'all.
Well, I mean,
but I also still can't get enough. I mean, because I'm just like, what else
like
is
watching a train wreck.
It's watching a train wreck. Yep. It's like, what else?
That press conference kind of they have a lot more information than I was expecting.
And that police chief was pissed. He's coming at Jussie, and he's a black Chicago police chief. He's like, he was going in when I saw that today. He was going in on Jussie.
It's personal. It's personal.
You can tell he took it personal.
We have this thing where we like to say.
I don't care about that.
We have this thing as black people where we like to say, or if you're whatever. But as a black woman, we have this thing where we like to say, oh, I don't speak for all black women. But let me get out here and say something crazy tonight. My father and my mother be like, girl, it's personal. People are invested. We invest in one another.
Yeah. Well, it's like we were rooting for the entire thing. We were rooting for you, and now you make us look stupid.
Right.
Yeah. Because we're like, he would never.
Yeah.
No.
And I think the saddest thing that I actually heard about it all, and I know you guys, we will get over this and move on.
I know.
But the saddest thing I did hear was they were talking about, I forget what I was watching, but they were talking about how Empire and his character being so beloved, especially by a black audience, is a big deal. And it maybe made some steps in our community to be more accepting of LGBTQ people and their plight. And watching his relationship with his father and all of that as a mirror to some abuse that definitely takes place in the community that's not talked about in an acceptance that we had not had before. And for him to do this, he may have literally squashed any steps forward that were made in that direction for a lot of people. And that's actually probably, to me, one of the saddest things to come out of this. Because you can pay the police department back. You can do time. Your career, that's your fault.
What's that cost?
I'm not hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know,
that?
but I heard.
How do they
pay
figure
that
out
police department because you paying those
of
are taxpayer monies. Yeah. So you definitely need to, and you should be offering that check. Just be like, look, y'all just take whatever here.
I hate crime. I hate crime.
It's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
we'll see how it develops.
Mr. Lagerfeld.
All right.
Yeah, well, moving on. Another interesting story that was sort of floating around the internets in the last few days is, as you guys may know or may not know, Karl Lagerfeld passed away at the age of 85 this week. He is the king of the fashion world. He was at the House of Chanel for many, many years. He previously had worked for Fendi, and he had done his own line. And everybody knows Karl Lagerfeld the same way that we, know Anna Wintour as the Vogue leader. Karl is the epitome of what high fashion is and the world of high fashion is. So lots of people, including lots of celebrities, were posting all of these wonderful tributes to Karl all over their pages. Celebrities like Tracee Ellis Ross and Rihanna and lots of others are posting like how much they loved him and he was so great and he's gone too soon and so sad, this creative man, blah, blah, blah. Well, one celebrity decided to kind of come for him. Like, she was, all up on her Twitters, like, oh, this is what, Karl, okay. Her name is Jamil. She's on The Good Place. She basically came out and after reading all of these amazing tributes, she pointed out in a moment on her own Twitter, and she said, quote, Karl was a ruthless, fat-phobic misogynist. Shouldn't be posted all over the internet as a saint gone too soon. Talented for sure, but not the best person. And then she proceeded, Cara Delevingne, who's an actress and a model, who was apparently like besties with Karl, got into the conversation and Jamila clapped back real hard. Y'all can go online and read all of that conversation. It was real good, okay? Because Jamila came back for her many a times and basically closed that Becky mouth by telling her, you are a tall, skinny white girl, therefore you were privileged in his eyes. So basically, Jamila kind of went into, for those of you that don't know, Karl has said some real sideways shiz over the years. He's an older fella, but, some people would not be pleased by some of the things that he said. And I'll let you know a few of the things that he said over the years. He said about Pippa Middleton, who is the Duchess of Cambridge's sister, quote, should only show her back because he didn't like her face. He once told a French TV show in 2017 that he knows someone in Germany who took in a young Syrian, and after 4 days said the greatest thing Germany ever invented was the Holocaust. He was quoted last year basically saying he was, quote, fed up with the Me Too movement, and he's scolded models who complained about being groped, and he went on to say, quote, it's unbelievable. If you don't want your pants pulled down or about, you don't become a model. Join a nunnery. There'll always be a place for you in the convent. And he's just kind of been known to like not be the nicest to the plus size movement and the natural bodies movement and just an all around, misogyny is pretty good description
when
of
you
the
hate
things
yourself
that he
and
says.
you look like that in the mirror every day, maybe that's why he out here just
he's shooting it off. But some
crazy.
people are asking now, as we're in this movement of whether you're talking about R. Kelly and R. Kelly's art, or Bill Cosby and Bill Cosby's art, all these other people, Harvey Weinstein, his art, or like whatever. Sometimes people do that related a little bit different because it's not actually his art himself from Harvey Weinstein. But should we still be celebrating him? Should we be like, cancel Chanel, cancel all of that he did, or should we really be celebrating his art the way that we are? Should we be canceling Karl?
No, R.I.P., rest in peace, because, death is its own thing. But at the end of the day, with everything that has come out in the past, just the month, let's just stick with what's happening in February. Between the lips, the nooses, like, this is crazy.
This is Black
crazy.
So are you saying Karl gets a pass because there's too much more important stuff?
No, I'm saying
trying to clarify.
No, he does not get a pass.
Okay, I'm just clarifying what you're saying.
I'm saying this goes in the same bucket as all of that. Like, rest in peace.
Oh.
Rest in peace. God bless
Tanisha
you.
got thoughts. Tanisha
However,
got thoughts.
I do have
there are so many young designers that everyone that gets overlooked, or people won't invest their money into young black designers because they aren't in the catalogs or whatever. It's time for the new generation to step on up and put this I can't with this trash.
This whole cancel thing is such an awful joke to me.
Because nobody will do it.
Exactly.
We should have canceled many things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the memory is just so short, and we're so forgiving, and that's why we can never really make any hard progress as far as I'm concerned. It was just so interesting to me. Like, I remember when Black Panther was released last year, and I seen people dressed in African, what was African regalia bought at, I don't know, Marshall's, with a Gucci belt around the waist.
Marshalls.
But she's so right.
You said Marshalls. I'm about to fall up out of here.
And I'm just like, y'all are killing me softly. Y'all are killing me. Cancel designers is something that's not happening. Black people will, talk that talk. But, yeah. I'm not going to wear this. But then I ain't gonna do it. I'm not going to wear that. Maybe for a small amount of time. But give a few months, and everybody will be back in Gucci. Everybody will be back in Chanel. Chanel? Forget about it. Ain't nobody canceling Chanel.
Nope.
It ain't even happening.
Well, not happening, but that's a different conversation. Not happening. Whether or not it's actually feasible is a conversation. Right. Should it be?
Of course it should. There's a lot of stuff that we should cancel.
So are we thinking as a whole that we should not be separating people's art from
their behavior? I wish we could separate the behavior from the art. I really wish we could.
But it's also
I don't think we can.
We actually do often. So then, if you think that should we not be doing that?
It's like I still like to watch, The Cosby Show because of what it represented to me. But then when you hear, this other stuff, it's like it's hard to do that.
Well, what happens is, when you talk about The Cosby Show, you think about all those other people who will be affected by it, who may still get paychecks, residuals from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
These fashion pictures.
Right.
Like, you've already done it.
And that is like the bigger conversation of how one person's behavior affects many.
Well, I told you the other day, I called y'all and said, R. Kelly came on the radio, my body's calling, and it took all my will to turn that station because I wanted to hear it. I ain't going to lie to you.
It's real interesting, though, because for me, R. Kelly, it's not even hard because now when I hear it, it's gross. It makes me feel gross.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Courtney.
I'm like, calm for what?
Right, but I'm taking it to my own personal moment.
Vitamins?
I'm seeing small children's bodies.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Ooh. Like that one, but then The Cosby Show, I'm not as affected. I see this.
Or Weinstein, then how they break it down, but is that really his art? That's his finances.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. He helped. He didn't create. Well, he was able to give that stuff a platform. He didn't actually create it in most cases. So I don't know.
But that's still just as critical. Anytime you're putting money behind something, it's still.
Yeah, and I agree with your point, Tanisha, because you said that we tend to forgive, right? H&M. Remember we had the monkey, the black kid and the monkey, and then people were in an uproar and they stopped going to H&M for a month, and then nobody talks about it anymore.
I was at the mall yesterday. I still didn't walk in H&M, but
well, you are an exception to the rule.
That being said, is the forgiveness part though a bad thing? Should we be able to just forgive and get over it?
But are we really?
It's not about
forgiving, or are we just? Well, no one's gonna know. I'm gonna still support it.
Well, nobody's hiding. People. What's his name? Mayweather wasn't hiding that he's still gonna wear Gucci.
True.
People still walking in.
You probably didn't read
H&M,
the article correctly.
Shut up.
You stupid.
And nobody can hide when they're rocking their Gucci. The G's are everywhere. So
everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too because if you think about this, Karl Lagerfeld, and for her to come out and say this stuff. It actually, if you really dig deep, is disgusting on another level that we want to even fight to think about supporting this because what he's probably done in fashion and how that has affected the generation of men, women, body types, dysmorphias, that's crazy. That one person can have that effect on
Absolutely.
somebody.
Absolutely. Sure. And that was the point that I was making. One person can have, a long-lasting effect. It's a reverberation of your behavior. Affects many.
Listen, at the end of the day, I want to be his cat because he was worth $195 million, and today they said that the cat is probably going to inherit all his millions.
Shut up. See,
this is lunacy. $195 million.
Now that is why we should cancel Karl Lagerfeld.
Give it to your cat.
That's
right. We're going to move on, Karl.
Of all the things you could do with that money.
What in the white people are you doing?
To his cat. So, all right. Someone we're not going to cancel is Obama because we're going to move on to our EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
Well, for everybody out there who thought Obama was just chilling, going on vacations, and doing some speeches periodically, he was doing a lot more than that, because we have just found out that Obama is bringing basketball to Africa, y'all. Yep, he is teaming up with the NBA and the International Federation, and they are creating a new basketball league in Africa that will feature 12 teams from several countries, and the countries include Egypt, Kenya, Morocco, Nigeria, Senegal, and South Africa, and several others. So
what a way to be an inspiration.
That's what I'm talking about. It'll debut next year.
With number 45 in office.
Yeah.
What a way.
That's what I'm saying. That's going out with a bang and dropping the damn mic. That's what I'm saying.
And continuing with your own passions.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Just because you know he loves basketball. And
He
like
does.
that this is a way to like bring something to the world and also be in your passion is just beautiful
I love
and
him.
inspiring.
He
He's
sent
my
out a
Leo
tweet.
brother. He's about the collective work
We
and
all about those Leo life.
responsibility. Yeah,
Leo life.
yeah.
He sent out a tweet. It said, "I've always loved basketball because it's about building a team that's equal to more than the sum of its parts. Glad to see that this expansion into Africa. Glad to see this expansion in Africa because for a rising continent, this can be about a lot more than just what happens on the court."
That is true.
That is very true.
That is
so
very true.
Kudos to you, Obama, and
That's awesome.
Love him.
Great
you
news.
get the clap for that.
Great news. We want to end Black History Month on those notes.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see what Trump does when he leaves office.
Let's not talk about Trump.
Right.
Well,
Well,
at least
hopefully
I talk
Black-
about him leaving office.
Let's not even bring up
No,
his name.
this was,
You
that
know
was a
what?
great way to go out.
All right, so
And we were
we'll go
on a
back
good
to
note,
Obama.
but since you brought that up, we still have hopes. That Mueller report is coming, and hopefully it's good.
Well,
See,
I
that's
hope
a
Black
good one.
History ends with Spike Lee taking home an Academy Award for a Black
Yeah.
Klansman.
Yes, 'cause the Oscars are
Let's
this
talk
Sunday.
about that. Yes, 6 nominations for Black
6
Klansman.
nominations.
If he doesn't walk out of there with something,
He better walk out with the best director for his body of work because he been done deserve that. And I understand that other movies in that category, other directors in this particular moment should win over Black Klansmen, but this is a body of work moment, and he deserves that moment.
I just want to see him do a speech. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear his speech at the Academy Awards.
I need him to win. I just need Black Klansman to win. I need Ruth Carter to win. She'll be the first African American to win for best costume
She will.
design.
I think she's gonna take that.
Yeah,
I put that on my
yeah,
pool.
yeah.
I think she'll take that.
I put that
Regina
on my pool.
King,
yeah,
best supporting
Regina.
actress for. Now that I'm not really. I'm like.
I think
I
she's
don't-
going to get it.
You think so?
I think she's gonna
I don't
get
know.
it.
I don't because sometimes it's when they do the predictions like who wins the SAG Awards. Sometimes they give it to you
what
at the SAG
category?
Awards.
Best supporting
actress.
Because it's going to split because what is it? Rachel Weisz and what's her name from The Favorite?
Oh right, yes.
And then the girl from Roma. Yeah. She's going to take it.
That'll be big. I
She's
mean,
going to take it. I believe it for
that'll
her.
be big.
I hope
so.
she does.
I believe it.
All right, well, tune in Sunday because they will be on.
Yes.
And there's a rumor that was going around that Whoopi is going to be the host.
I don't think they would lie that she's sick just so that she could be the secret host for the Oscars.
I think if it would be her with 4 other people or 3 other people. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think they would not lie.
Yeah,
that
no,
she's
I watched the
Y'all
View
like
too
this?
much and like Joy
Yeah.
be talking too much. Like they like. No, I don't think so.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if there's no host for real. So, Courtney, where can fans find you?
You guys can find me everywhere at Stewart Starlet.
Jesse,
Boom, everywhere DJ Jesse J.
Tanisha.
At Tanisha Laverne Grant on Instagram, all 3 names. Tanisha Soft Eye.
I like the way she said that. I got to follow that. All right, you can find me at Derrial Christon on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. And we will be reporting about the Oscars next week.
Yep.
And we
Leave your
will
comments down below.
keep your comments below. And also let us know what you're talking about with Jussie. Y'all think he's going to go to jail? You know, what do you think should happen? Because that story's going to keep developing.
Just confess, brother, and start.
Why did you
do that,
Start the
Jussie?
reparations.
Jussie.
Why did you do that,
Right,
Jussie?
let's start it now.
Right.
Start.
All right, y'all have a great week.
Bye.
Peace.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content, and be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.